I'm sorry.
Yeah, and if we're just gonna go in there with no goal about what we're actually talking about, I'm not gonna sit there for 4 hours either.
Right.
No, 100%. Well, and there's a lot of politics involved in this. Most of my problem stems from the intent to implement ordinances. That's where 90% of my concern. Meaning the fact that the
You have been
bill
very consistent on signs.
I understand now. Well, I think I'm going to go with you. I think I'm going with you on this ballot. Because once you start turning that stuff back, they're going to be forced to have to look at signs. The hard part, like I said, is when you drive by 7-9, you got a temporary sign up there, it's blowing in the freaking wind. They come here and they do whatever they want to do anyway, and there's not enforcement like that. So,
Can only enforce if we got the staff.
what's that? No, I didn't hear you.
Said you can't
I
enforce
would,
if you don't got the staff.
here's what I would, here's what I would do. There's one at the table that'd be more than happy to go work over
I
and
know.
enforce stuff. Here's what I would do. I swear to God, I would pick 2 things a month. First month, I'd pick dumpster enclosures. That'd be my focus. Because nobody wants them. And then ticket everybody or whatever it is. Then I would pick the next thing that he thinks important and start enforcing it.
So
I know
it's
these
raining
things.
a little bit, but
I mean, honestly, how many times just driving down the street?
So happy I fired it up again the first back because I didn't get to do mine until after work. I'm like, man, I pulled in my driveway. It was just like just a little bit of snow on top of nothing but slush. And I'm like, man. I did a YouTube thing. They sprayed WD-40 on my dash and stuff. Oh, it works good. What the hell, man? It's crazy work. Vegetable oil does too. Vegetable oil, yeah, same thing. It worked really good. Stuff from the spray can, it works really good. Works really good. Sometimes if it gets just the right consistency, you can't go anywhere. So I'll patio and do the 16 patio.
head coach? Oh, yeah. No way. Yep. Did he really? Yes, he did. Let's go.
I just want to make sure. Okay.
You ready, Nicole?
Right, okay. I'd like to call to order a regular meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals for Wednesday, December 10th at 7:30 PM. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. Sophia.
Present.
Mr. Green.
Present.
Mr. Perry.
Present.
Mr. Lindsay.
I'm present.
Mr. Cliff.
Present.
Mr. Watts.
Here.
Mr. Assessor.
Present.
Mr. Jersey's present. Chairman Ostorovich.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Okay, takes us to item 4, which is adoption of the agenda.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to adopt the agenda as written.
Support. Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Jersey, support by Mr. Watts to approve the agenda as written. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Abstain, had
Okay.
not had time to review.
Okay, so, but the agenda is approved with one abstention. Takes us to item 5, which is approval of the minutes of September 24th, 2025. Those
Mr.
are-
Chair,
Yes,
I'd
Mr.
like to make a motion to approve the minutes, please. Support.
So we have a motion by Mr. Assessor, support by Mr. Green to approve the minutes of September 24th. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Mr. Chair, I abstain
Uh,
due to absence.
Okay. The minutes are approved for September 24th with one abstention by Mr. Sophia. The November 12th meeting minutes have not gone out, so we have to get a motion to postpone that to the next meeting.
So moved.
No, somebody's got to make a motion.
So moved.
Okay.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Green, support by Mr. Jersey to move the approval of the November 12th meeting minutes to our next meeting in January. Takes us to item number 6, public hearing.
Item 6, applicant Fast Signs of Sterling Heights, Representative Andy Batty, camera description 2243, 12 mile. Variance is requested permission to install a 45-inch by 152-inch, 47.5 square foot wall sign and a 24-inch by 356-inch, 59.33 square foot wall sign for a total of 106.83 square feet of wall signage.
On behalf of Spinal Recovery and Joint Center. My address is 28225 Mound Road, Warren, Michigan, 48092.
Okay.
May I present?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So basically, this business is located on 12 Mile, on the north side of the street, east of DeQuinder, by Universal Mall there. They're called Spinal Recovery and Joint Center. As you can see from the sign that's there right now, there's nothing in their sign that talks about joint recovery. They have been doing joint recovery as well as spinal recovery, and they want the sign to reflect that so that people know that they are available for more than just spinal recovery, but also for joint recovery. There are several of these locations for these businesses, and they're all rebranding to include the joint recovery aspect of it. Our ordinance allows for 40 square feet of wall signage, no matter the frontage that you may have. It's based on each address. For example, our building is a rather large building. It could be divided into more than one business, and if it had been divided into more than one business, it could have 4 or 5 addresses, and each one of those could have a 40-foot square signage under our ordinance. In this case, we have a very large business with very large building with one business in it. The size of our frontage is 500 square feet. So our awning there is 4 feet high, 120 feet wide for 500 square feet of frontage. The sign that we're requesting is 106.83 square feet. It's divided into two signs, but the total comes out to 106.83 square feet. So the sign is proportional to this business's roof footage, as it takes up slightly over 1/5 of the roof frontage's size. To have a sign that is smaller than that, I believe would be disproportionate. I did research the city records with regard to this address and signs. And in 1993, on May 11th, a pet care superstore sign was approved for 84 square feet. I brought that with me tonight, and I'm gonna see if we can pass that up to you so that you can see it, because I don't think this was included in your packet as the size that has been approved in the past. "12 Mile runs rather fast. It's 45 miles per hour. It's important for traffic safety that our clients be able to find us, slow down properly, and turn in. Identification is the keystone for signage. I believe that this sign will make it so that people will be able to see us and be able to slow down and properly turn into our facility. So the hardship that I would articulate to you is lack of identification and improvement of identification. I'm available for any questions. I do believe that you have a copy of the sign in your packet, correct? Everybody has a copy of the sign? Okay. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Birdie. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak on this item? Not seeing any. We do have one letter to read in.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This comes from a Robert and Cynthia Stosky. They reside at 29245 Merrick Avenue. So we are neighbors of 2243 12 Mile and respectfully request the board deny permission to install the huge signs described in the notice of public hearing we received. The business at that address, Spinal Recovery Center, currently has 2 large signs that seem more than sufficient given the state of their parking lot, which is usually full. We're glad their business seems to be thriving. The current signs are tasteful and appropriate. More signage would be overkill. Signs on the walls of the building would be tacky and reflect negatively on our neighborhood and our property values. Please deny this request. Variance, stop the attempt to make our little corner of the little trashy. Let's endeavor to make Warren classy. Thank you for your consideration. That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jersey. With that, I'll close the public portion of the meeting and turn it over to the board for any questions and discussion.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to
Yes, Mr. Jersey.
ask Ms. Birdie a question first. Good evening, Ms. Birdie.
Good evening.
So the current sign that's on the building right now, I don't see a variance in our packet regarding that sign. Is there a variance on that current sign that's on the building?
I have building permits for every one of those signs. And I think,
Or do they fall within 40 square foot? I guess, Steve, could you shed
yes,
some light
I
on this?
can get it for you.
It's just a yes or no. I mean,
That's what it says.
I do not have the permit history with me. It's something I can look up back at the office, but even with the computer, we can only look up more recent stuff.
so in your professional opinion, the current sign that's on the building, is that out of our current ordinance?
I have permits.
I'm waiting to see But she has, the variance I'm reading, I don't see where it would be allowed greater than 40 square feet,
The one that's on the building.
the one that's on the building.
So it falls within the 40.
I- If it does, then it
Here
would
it
be allowed.
It seems to be a pretty simple question. I don't understand.
For me,
For anybody, I mean, is there a variance on the current sign on the building? Why would we grant another
But-
variance on a sign that? if
There
there's
isn't a
not?
variance on the current sign. I don't know
Again,
what the
what's the size of the sign
of
on,
it.
you don't know the size of the sign on the building?
Not without looking at the permits,
Ms.
which
Birdie, do you have that information?
I
she,
do
she
have it
thinks she
here.
has it and she's looking for it, so.
That's why I ordered the records. That's why I adjourned last time. And I found it was Bright Sign Company. And there are 4 or 5 permits for each individual sign.
This property was combined, wasn't it?
Yes. So there was a house next door, that
Yeah.
house was torn down. This property was combined with that property. But there is a sign,
I remember it was a pet store. Here's a larger sign
what did I
there.
do with it? It was Bright Sign Company. Oh. Here they are. Here they are.
A permit was issued on the 10th for a 12.25 square foot sign.
No, no,
Which-
there's 5 of them.
There's 5 of them.
Is it 12.25?
1, 2, there's 4 of them.
There's 3 for a total of 40 square feet from the application I'm looking at. So it was 40, so it's allowed within the ordinance.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Green.
Got 1, 2, 3.
Yes, Mr. Green.
so,
Oh, that's the total, okay.
help me here for clarification, Mr. Wetherbund. In the backup, there's Auto Parts World, which was in that building, that was approved for 114 square feet. How does that play into this?
Yes, and the records are here. There was approval for 114 square feet. There was approval for Petco Superstores of 84 square feet.
So,
The-
if we
The
were,
114 was for the ground sign.
no, it was for
Within-
a roof sign and a ground sign.
Both.
So my clarification I need then is, so there's a difference then?
Yes.
The total, so
Yes,
each
ground-
sign has to be 40 square feet?
No, ground sign can be 70, the typical ground sign can be 75 square feet, and typical wall sign is 40 square feet. It does vary depending on the zone and other things, but I would say 85% of the city falls within that area as a standard. Office district is less, an M3 or M4 is higher, so depends on the zone that it's in.
So what happens to that ground sign then? Is it gone?
No. The
So
ground-
who's using the ground sign
it's-
nobody's using it?
It's being used
By,
Spinal
by Spinal
recovery,
Recovery and Joint Center. They're taking the panel that's already there and approved and replacing the panel.
oh, that's for the ground sign, okay. All right, thank you.
I've got a question, I guess, Steve or Miss Birdie. So I saw the permit for when it was the pet superstore. And it looked like the permit for that sign was 84 square feet,
Yes.
but I don't see any variance. I guess I was trying to figure out what if that property had any variances, because if the Pet Superstore had 84 square feet, how did they get that without getting a variance?
Again, I was told about it just now. I did see the permit. I would have to look at our records. I didn't see a variance for it. I would have to dig and go from there. Again, there was a combination of properties here, so I don't know. That was on this property address that is in question, but we'll have,
Well, I will say this, when I got the records, none of the sign records were for the house that was torn down. But he is correct, that house was torn down and the properties were combined. There is an auto world variance for about 50-something square feet, and that's in your packet. It concerned me that I found a permit for 84 square feet for Petco Superstores, and yet I don't know the rest of the information regarding it, but it's a signed permit, and that sign did go up because I used to shop there. So I remember that it was there.
Mr. Chair, can I ask one more question?
Yes, go ahead, Mr.
So
Green.
what happens then, Steve, or Mr. Waterford, so it's a combination of buildings? At some point, it was separate than what it is now?
no.
When the
No.
property was torn down, that became parking lot. The house became parking lot.
And then that building went up?
No.
So
No,
you
it
referred-
was-
No, the building was
always
existing.
up.
Okay, so you referred, Ms. Birdie, you referred to, like, you explained it as maybe 4 different buildings, as far as the footprint goes, the size. But it wasn't never 4 different businesses.
No, but it was more than one business at one point. But the point I was trying to make is, with our ordinance, no matter what the size of your building is, if you have an address and a business here, you get 40 square feet. So you could have a very small business with small frontage and get 40 square feet. You could have a large business, like what we have, a large building, and the ordinance calls for 40 square feet. That's why I was trying to point out that we should take into consideration, in my opinion, when evaluating signs for a variance, is the size of the platform for it. So our roof area where you would put a sign is 125 by 125 feet by 4 feet, which is 500 square feet. The sign we're requesting is 106 square feet, which is basically 1/5 of all that area. And that's why I was trying to point out by scaling it, that it's not taking up a huge part of that roof. And we are taking down the other signs. I want to make sure I'm clear on that. I guess I assumed that in my presentation, but these aren't additional signs. The signs on the building, the wall signs, of course, those will come down, and the new ones, if approved, would go up.
If I can go back to answering the permit, it was issued in 1993. I was not working for the city at that time, sorry to tell you. However,
Signed by Weckesser.
a permit was issued. And when they were issued in the past, if there was a variance on it, it would have said ZBA approved in the date. So I can say that it wasn't ZBA approved. So once we approved it, that would make that sign a non-conforming sign, legal non-conforming, once we issued a permit. Now, that sign can't, as long as that sign is maintained, it could stay until a new sign went up, which is happening here. So even though it was issued, it would have been legal non-conforming, and now everything has to come in conformity and go from there. But it was issued, I do see it, and go from there with the documents Ms. Birdie has.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Watts.
So, I'm looking at a current view of the building. And I did do a drive-by. And I'm having a hard time believing that this sign fits into the 40 square foot. But then, looking at the
the picture, you can see where a sign was there before that was wider than what's there now.
Yes.
So,
I didn't want to muddy the waters. When I went out to the building and I looked at it, there had to have been a bigger sign up, because there are holes there that had a much larger sign up.
That's-
But when I ordered the records, I didn't find one. So I didn't want to say that to you unless you had seen it yourself.
I caught it.
Okay. There
Well,
was a larger sign there.
I'm suspecting, looking back at the records, that was probably Auto Parts World would probably cover that much space. But I don't know that I see a variance for that.
Auto parts
Oh,
store
I do, wait a minute.
did get a variance.
Yep, there is a variance here. Signage to be a total of 164.62.
But 114 of that was the ground sign at that time.
Okay, okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry. Okay. That's all I got.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Sofia?
I've just reviewed the packet. To me, it's more important about now than what happened in the past. I think it's, first of all, I want to say that Spinal Recovery Center is in my opinion, a super business for the city of Warren. The building is meticulously maintained. The little bit of grass that they have, the windows, the paint, I admire that building is generally kept in a very nice, well-kept, order. I think the scaling of the sign and the proportions is fair in my opinion. I don't have any problems with it. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Mr. Sofia. Are there any other questions, discussion, or?
If there's no other comments, I'd like to make a motion.
Okay, not seeing any other comments. Go ahead, Mr. Sofia.
I'd like to make a motion to grant permission to install a 45-inch by 152-inch, 47.5 square foot wall sign and a 24-inch by 356-inch, 59.33 square foot wall sign for a total of 106.83 square footage of wall signage. Due to the size of the building, it's not a detriment to the area and it is necessary.
Support.
I'm sorry. Do you also want to include in there that the current signage will be removed?
Yes.
Can we say current wall signage?
Yes.
Wall signage.
And the current wall signage will be removed.
Support.
Okay, so we have a motion by Mr. Sofia, support by Mr. Perry, to approve the request as stated in the motion.
Mr. Sofia?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Perry?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Put it on record.
Mr. Assessor?
Roof sign as well.
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Cliff?
No, it exceeds the current ordinance by 66.83 square feet.
Mr. Green?
Yes, for reasons stated in the ordinance.
Mr. Watts?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Lindsay?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Jersey votes no. I also believe it's a detriment to the area and not necessary. Chairman Nestorovich?
I vote yes for the reasons stated in the motion. The request is approved.
Thank you. There was, what are you saying now?
What we'd like to do is to remove the Auto Parts 50 whatever square foot. It's called a roof sign, but it was on this face of the roofing in place of this. To clean up that.
I think
Doesn't that
what
take into
Mr.
account the-
Waterpon is worried about.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to amend the motion. I'd like to amend the motion that was...
I don't think you have to do that if she voluntarily withdraws or relinquishes that part. I would turn it to the attorney.
I agree. If she voluntarily relinquishes on the record, it's done.
I relinquish any roof signs on this property.
Thank you.
Okay, good.
Yep, thank you.
Item 7, applicant Deborah Gaither. Representative Deborah Gaither, common description 11821 Timken. Variance is requested permission to retain a 10-foot by 12-foot, 120 square foot shed, 16 feet behind a proposed 22-foot by 30-foot, 660 square foot garage for a total of 780 square feet of accessory structure floor area.
So if you can start with your name and address for the record, and then take us into your request.
Hi, my name is Deborah Gaither, 11821 Timpkin Avenue, Warren, Michigan, 48089.
And would take us to explain your request for us.
We had decided to put up a garage, me and my son, and we did not realize that the shed and the combination with the garage was larger than what, the combination should be. And we are requesting that we're allowed to keep the shed up. The shed was built according to city code. We went and pulled the permit, did everything that we're supposed to. It was put up probably in '07 maybe. And my husband, that was a lot of his pride and joy getting up that shed because we weren't able to get a garage back then. So he's passed away in 2009, and it's been something that my son has used as more of his man cave. He spends all of his time in there. He hates to be inside. He's outside year-round. And when he recovered from a horrible car accident in 2013 and broke his neck, he had 6 years where he couldn't work. So he's put his game station in there back when his dad passed away, and that's just where he would spend all of his time. He has continued that year-round. He comes in from work, he changes, he eats, and he goes out there and he stays in the shed, watching TV. He has it, he hates to be in the house. And it's just an emotional, personal attachment that he has to the shed, going back with him and his dad doing this together. And we want to get the garage up, so anything that's on the property, we want it on the inside of the property, in the garage. I don't want anything on the outside. There is a terrible problem with rats in our neighborhood, and we just want to do everything we can to, on our part, to not contribute to that issue. And the shed was bought at Home Depot. It's a wooden shed, and it still looks nice. And our neighbors have no problem with us having a garage and a shed. In fact, I've been there 41 years, and nobody ever uses their backyard for anything. They don't even have a picnic tables back there. It's just everybody has the side of their house and their front yard, where they sit and visit with neighbors. So we would just ask that 80 square feet overage, if that we could request, if we could keep that, because we do have a large lot, 50 by 190. And so we still have a lot of property in the back for use. And my son put a nice cedar wood 6-foot fence up on one side, and we're just really trying to update everything and improve it.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak on this item? Not seeing any, or close the public portion and turn it over to the board.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Jersey?
To the petitioner, good evening, ma'am. Do you live at the property?
Yes, I do, 41 years.
Some of the pictures I've got that were included with our backup material are kind of disturbing.
My son.
With the, I mean, you got debris all over your yard. We got a car parked on the grass. We have, to be honest with you, you complained about a rat problem in your neighborhood, and I'm kind of concerned that it might be coming from your yard based off these pictures. I mean, this is like...
No, I can
this is like-
explain that. My son is responsible for that. When I
Is any of this cleaned up?
Yes, we have the largest dumpster there. It's been there for a week. My son wanted to wait till the garage was up to go through all of that, and I. for the
Why would you
last-
need a garage up to go through sticks and wood and?
I agree. I almost,
Do you have a compost thing that the city has granted your house to throw compost away and stuff?
anything you have to say about that, I agree. I have, for 2 years, begged him to go through his stuff. When he had broke his neck, he couldn't work, and I think that's when he started accumulating stuff for the scrapyard. And I moved out for 5 years. I wasn't there. I was helping my sister, who was going through hardship. And I moved back 3 years ago, and that's when I decided, I said, look, we have to have a garage. This has to be cleaned up. I begged him for 2 years to please, let's do this. You have stuff here you were wanting to scrap. You haven't done it. And he just did not understand how important it was
Okay.
to me.
That's
So,
fine.
yes, so I went ahead and I just ordered a dumpster. I got the largest.
All right, I'm gonna cut you off there. So, back to the nature of why you're here. I don't think your variance request is anything out of the realm of what we've granted in the past based off of the size and shape of the lot. I like the fact that, the shed's gonna be hidden by the house. I do give you kudos for having a privacy fence that's erected the right way. A lot of people in this town don't have that, so you got that going on. So kudos to that. I don't see the request being that crazy, other than you have to almost like kind of put blinders on to the blight pictures that are kind of in the packet and just kind of focus on what's in front of us. So, I think the garage and the shed, to me, it's not a detriment, and I think that I could get behind it, but I implore the applicant to maintain better care of her yard for her neighbor's sake. Please park your car in the driveway, and then I'll yield the floor.
Mr. Chair.
Yeah, I apologize
Mr.
for the
Watts?
yard.
Yeah, when I went through the packet, and I looked at these pictures, it's very disturbing.
I agree.
And we have a real blight problem in this city. And when I see this amount of wood on the ground, that's a major attractor of rats
Yes.
and any other kind of rodents. And I can't get behind this at all because there's no guarantee that these complaints go back to 2020 on the yard, and it's still not cleaned up.
I got
And
a
then-
dumpster.
Hang on.
I
And now you
had
tell
to
me you got
address it.
you're saying tonight you got a dumpster this last week. Oh, what happened the last 5 years?
Well, like I said, I had moved out for 5 years, and I was not aware he was bringing stuff home. In May is when he started really bringing wood home, and I says, please wait. I says, the city has to come into our yard. They have to approve the foundation. I said, and I knew that the wood had to be 18 inches off the ground.
So anyways, you've got 5 years worth of violations here that don't appear to be corrected. These pictures are from middle November, so I know that none of it's been cleaned up.
Oh,
or-
no,
or
we
it's
got a
very little.
dumpster there. I
That
got the
doesn't mean
largest.
that doesn't mean it's cleaned up. So I can't get behind this until everything is brought up to code and within the blight is cleaned up. I can't get behind it. That's all I got. I'll be a no vote.
That's being done, and we are out there.
But there's no question right
Mr.
now
Chair?
for Juice.
I'm all set, thank you.
Okay. Yep, Mr. Green?
I guess I can't turn a blind eye to this. The pictures they're something else. This yard is an absolute mess. And the backup, the violations that you've got pretty much spell out for you that you're the source of food for the rodents. So you have a rat problem down to build a garage or a shed, doesn't hold much water. Bad smells of marijuana, buckets of water all over the place, cars coming and going. There's a bunch of stuff. And the problem is, I guess, Mr. Watson, I got a question for you, if you don't mind.
can you build a shed and live in it? Okay, thank you. You answered my question. Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Clift?
so, we've heard a couple of sides here this evening. This is what I do. I'm a code enforcement officer in another municipality. The photographs are extremely disturbing to me that I'm seeing here. However, as my colleague, Secretary Jersey stated, you know, if you gotta put blinders on to make a decision, you put blinders on to kind of make a decision. On the face of it, what you're asking for is not, absolutely not unreasonable. It pains me that the city of Warren allows variance requests to come up before this board with open enforcements on a property. There are other places that do not allow that type of thing just for this reason, because it's a little shocking and it's a little disappointing for a board member to have to put blinders on to make a decision when something like this is going on, and it might even be in his very own neighborhood. I kind of echo the sentiments that you've heard coming from this body this evening, that we can't really get behind this. I just want to make the comment that I'd rather see if you'd be willing to do a postponement and approach us again in the future once some of our concerns about the blight have been eliminated or taken care of.
Want that more than anybody here, and I've been actively doing that 2 years ago. If you check down to the
I understand that, ma'am. I'm going to cut you off. At the end of the day, your name's on the deed, you pay the
Yes.
taxes on the property, and you're responsible for what happens at your property.
That's
Being
why-
an absent property owner, this is exactly what happens. And it's the greatest bane to your neighbors in the neighborhood. When you're not there, you don't know what's going on, and they have to live amongst this.
I agree. There's nothing you can't say to me that I haven't said to my son.
So with that, I'm going to yield the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Clift.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Ms.
I'll just make one quick comment. I agree that the request here is nothing, that we haven't approved in the past. I think it's reasonable. I'm gonna be a no vote, however, because learning that, we are taking up residence in an already existing shed structure, it seems like there isn't necessarily a need for another building to be put up. So that's gonna be the reason. I could make, a ton of comments about the blight. I think we've said them all. It's not what we're here to discuss. But I'm gonna be a no vote for those reasons.
Thank you, Mr. Lindsay.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr.
if I
Rhodes?
could, we've discussed this before, but according to city charter, you can't come up here for a variance if your taxes are behind. You can't get a building permit if your taxes are behind. And now you got open enforcements that haven't been taken care of. I don't know how anyone could even think that we would approve this. Because it's part of, a variance is part of keeping the city within the ordinances. And to let this go, you're ignoring the ordinances. Doesn't make any sense to me. And it has to stop somewhere. If it doesn't stop at the desk when they apply for it and not forwarded here, then it's up to us to stop it. I don't see any other way.
Ms.
Can I
Rhodes,
take care of the whole problem?
Well, I was actually gonna say, would we want to, postpone and delay for a length of time that the petitioner would say it would take to clean up the yard and bring it up into shape, and then be able to request a garage at that time, or?
I personally don't have a problem with a postponement in a reasonable amount of time. I mean, winter's set in on us, so I don't know how good they're gonna be able to get it cleaned up within a couple of weeks, and it's holidays. So, but I think something has to be done to get the yard cleaned up before we grant anything.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Clift.
when did you plan on breaking ground for your construction, ma'am?
We haven't done that. We have 2 tree roots we have to remove. I wanted all of this done when I realized.
No,
that-
my question is, when did you anticipate on starting
Oh.
construction on your project?
You know, I go by whatever you guys say. I'm wanting to get the yard completely cleaned up. I've had the dumpster there for over a week. And I said it's not leaving until the yard is cleaned up. And-
Okay, so it's winter time. It's difficult to pour a foundation for a garage in the winter time.
I mean, we
These things
will
usually
wait.
don't happen. I would be willing to make a motion to entertain this again
Yes.
in 6 months' time.
Whenever we get everything completely cleaned up, you know, and gone, he's taken like 6 pickup trucks to the
Okay.
scrap yard. I got the largest dumpster. I didn't ask him, I didn't tell him, I just ordered it. And then I had help, because I can't do all this, and I says, the largest things in the yard, start putting them in the dumpster, because
I hate to cut you off. We
Yeah,
got
I'm
other things
sorry.
on the agenda.
I'm nervous.
I'm willing to propose to my
Okay.
colleagues a postponement for a date approximately 6 months into the future to entertain this again.
Okay,
But in a stipulation with that would be that somebody from the city come out and conduct a yard inspection to make sure that
Yes.
your other issues are taken care of, or supply us in a backup that all of the deficiencies have been taken care of as far as the enforcements that are open right now. And
Yes.
I think you'll get,
I-
at least from me, you're gonna get a much better response to the
Yes.
whole issue. It kind of fits in with the timeline of construction. Now, understand, once you draw your permit, you've got a year to act on it anyway. A year, is that correct?
Oh,
If a variance is approved, you have a year to pull the permit, and you have 6 months for a permit.
So you got.
But we do
yeah.
grant extensions on that as
Okay.
long as there's movement on it, because some permits for a large building or something definitely will take more than 6 months. So we do
'Cause it
grant
is
it as
winter.
long as there's progress.
I'm listening to you. It is winter time. It's tough to do things in winter, but 6 months from now is gonna be the May, June timeframe.
it's fine. We're working daily. Me
Okay.
and my help are out there in 11-degree weather, because I said it has to be done.
But if you've got tree roots and other issues to get done, winter
Yes.
might preclude you from getting those taken care of before the ground thaws enough to work on things like that.
Springtime is fine. He's gonna get those tree roots out, and me and my help, we're on getting the cleanup done. When this dumpster's gone, then I will probably order another one, whatever it takes to get the yard clean. His dad would
Can I get
never
a date
allow
for
this.
a May meeting? Do we have anything published yet?
I kind of concur with you, Mr. Cliff, but I would recommend maybe go to April. Do we know what the April meeting would be yet, Nicole? April 8th and 27th. 22nd. I would go to April 22nd meeting.
Did Steve want to add something in before we make a motion to postpone this?
I would like to address your guys' concerns. Property maintenance is on this, and traditionally, property maintenance, if they don't see them working on cleaning it up, property maintenance will issue a cleanup order and have it cleaned. I would rather the property owner clean it,
Absolutely.
as would everyone else, but I'm gonna almost guarantee it will be cleaned up by that time, either by the city or by her.
Yeah,
So
but by the time the bill for that comes in, now our project might be at risk.
that is true.
Okay.
So if
Mr.
she
Chair,
cleans
that
it,
brings up
it's
another
much
question.
better.
Okay.
So we have this backup that says property maintenance has already been out there. So all of a sudden magically now, property maintenance is gonna clean it up for them? What happened previous to that, Steve? So you're saying that property maintenance will go out, take a look at it, and if they don't clean it up, property maintenance will clean it up?
Well, in the past, the departments weren't as large as they are. They are much bigger, and we do have, I'm gonna say court-friendly when it comes to cleanups and everything like that at this point in time.
Okay, so it's a different
Yeah, it's a
scenario.
different ball.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
I
Were
have
there-
called
were there-
Derek after every
Ma'am,
notice.
Is there,
It's okay, ma'am.
I know there's not a question right now, Director.
Did somebody else have something?
Does anybody have other comments, or would you like to make a motion to postpone?
Yes,
it to-
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to postpone action on this item until our April 22nd of 2026 meeting.
Support.
Okay, so there's a motion by Mr. Clift, and was it Mr. Susser I heard the support from?
Yes.
To postpone this to the April 22nd meeting. That'll give you a chance to get the yard cleaned up, so when you come back to us, there won't be any concerns about the state of the backyard, and we can address your garage at that time.
Yes, I'm in
Mr. Clift.
contact with Derek. I will send him updated
Okay,
pictures.
thank you.
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Assessor.
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Green.
Yes, for the reasons stated.
Mr. Watts.
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Lindsay.
Vote no to postpone. I think we should be voting on things that are in front of us today.
Mr. Safaya.
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Perry.
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Jersey votes yes for reasons stated in the motion. Chairman Ostovich.
Yes, for reasons stated in motion. So this request is postponed to the April 22nd meeting. Okay.
So it's,
Takes us to
Well,
item 8.
It's, we're here this again on April 22nd to give you a chance to get everything cleaned up.
thank you. I appreciate
This
this.
takes us to item 8. Applicant Hector Leon, Representative Hector Leon, common description 14668 Alger. Variance is requested permission to, 1, retain 54 inches of driveway widened beyond the east garage building line and 48 inches beyond the west garage building line for an overall driveway width of 28 feet. 2, retain 30 feet, 6 inches by 18 feet plus 10 feet by 10 feet, 649 square foot gazebo attached to the house in addition to a 10-foot by 10-foot, 100 square foot shed and 410 square feet attached garage for a total of 1,159 square feet of accessory structure floor area. And 3, waive the required rat wall for the gazebo.
Is the petitioner present? Okay, not seeing the petitioner present,
Mr. Chair, make
Yeah.
a motion to move item number 8 to the tail end of the agenda this evening for the petitioner to possibly appear late.
Support.
so I'll make that item like 13B.
13A.
Oh, 13A. Okay, so we have,
Item 8, make item 8 13A.
so that was a
I'll
motion
support that.
by Mr. Clift and support by Mr. Jersey. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody
Aye.
opposed?
I'm opposed. I think if they're not here, we should move on. I've always thought that.
I agree. They had plenty of time to be here.
Thank you.
Okay, and that's 7 to 4 then, 2 opposed. The item will be heard as 13A. Takes it item number 9.
Takes to item 9, applicant City of Warren. Representative Bob Weidner, common description 21916 Panama. Variance is requested permission to construct a single-family residence on a 50-foot wide lot in an R1C zoning district.
Good evening, everyone. Bob Widener, City of Warren, Community Development, 1 City Square, Warren, Michigan, 48093. We're asking to build a single-family home on a lot that is 50 foot by 144.
Anything else you wanted to add on that item, or?
Pardon me?
Is there anything else you wanted to state on your request, or no?
I'm sorry, I can't.
I wasn't sure if you're done with your.
Yeah, I'm done, thank you.
Okay. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak on this? Not seeing any. I'll close the public portion. Oh, there is a letter here to read before we close the public portion.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is from the Planning Department. After review of the request, no issues were found to impact the abutting local or general public. The petitioner received recommendation for approval by the Planning Commission for a subdivision lot split on November 17, 2025.
So I'll close the public portion of the meeting and turn it over to board for questions and discussion.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Watts?
I looked at this. This is a one large piece. They want to split it. I don't see a problem with this. I think getting a house built on it and hopefully sold, and it won't be a rental, I hope.
No.
And get some tax dollars off this property be worthwhile investment, so.
Thank you.
Just real quick to the petitioner, what's the square footage of the house?
The house is 1,248 square feet.
That's what I thought I said, so, okay, thank you, sir.
Yes.
If nobody else has any comments or questions, I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion to grant the petitioner permission to construct a single-family residence on a 50-foot wide lot in an R1C zoning district due to the size and shape of the lot, and it's not a detriment to the area.
Support.
So I have a motion by Mr. Jersey, support by Mr. Cliff to approve the request for reasons stated in motion.
Mr. Jersey votes yes for the reasons stated in the motion. Mr. Clift?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Green?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Watts?
Yes, for the reasons stated in motion.
Mr. Lindsay?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Safaya?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Perry?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Assessor?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
And Chairman Nestovich?
Yes, for reasons stated in the motion. The request is approved.
Thank you very much.
This is item 10.
Takes us to item 10. Applicant City of Warren, represented by Weidner. Common description 21916 Panama. Variance is requested permission to construct a single-family residence on a 50-foot wide lot in the R1C zoning district.
Good evening, Bob Widener, City of Warren Community Development, 1 City Square, Suite 210, Warren, Michigan 48093. We're asking permission to build a single-family home on a lot that is 50 feet wide. A little background, the houses that we build, they'll have a full basement, it has a two-car detached garage, and it fits the lot very well.
I like the fact there's a basement. I like the fact there's a basement. That's good.
Okay, thank you. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak on this item? Not seeing any there. We do have a planning letter that was submitted, Mr. Jersey.
Yep, we do have another impact statement from Planning Department. After review of the request, just like the other one, no issues were found to impact the abutting local or general public. The petition received recommendation for approval by the Planning Commission for a subdivision lot split on November 17, 2025.
Okay, so the public portion of the meeting is closed, and we're turned over to the board for any questions or discussion.
Nobody else has any questions or discussions? I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion to grant this petition as well. Permission to construct a single-family residence on a 50-foot wide lot in an R1C zoning district due to the fact the size and shape of the lot is not a detriment to the area.
Support.
We have a motion by Mr. Jersey, supported by Mr. Cliff, to approve the request for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Jersey votes yes for the reasons stated in the motion. Mr. Clift?
Yes. Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Green?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Assessor?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Watts?
Yes, for the reasons stated in motion.
Mr. Lindsay?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Perry?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Savaya?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
And Chairman Nestovich?
Yes, for reasons stated in motion. Your request is approved.
Thank you very much.
Takes us to item 11. Applicant Melvin Hudson, Representative Cindy Lamb, common description 8425 12 Mile. Variance is requested, permission to waive a total of 48 parking spaces, relinquish previous parking variances that were granted on 9/13/1967 and 2/12/1969.
Hi, guys. So I'm Mel Hudson with CSI Support and Development. We're a senior affordable housing provider. Our headquarters is in Warren at 8425 East 12 Mile. We put in for an application. We were going to increase the size of our front lobby by about 20 feet. That triggered planning or site plan review. In site plan review, everything went great. We got to a point where it said, contingent upon, appropriate parking. At that point, we went back and reviewed with our architect, found that we were essentially underparked in our existing parking. So, and we've been there since 2007. So with that, he said that we would need to get a zoning variance. So we applied for the variance.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak on this item? If you could just approach the podium and state your name and address and then your comments.
Cynthia Rose, 29131 Longview. I'm the president of the condo association that is on the other side of the monolithic wall. And this is
Martha Fazell, 29131 Longview, apartment number 2. Same question.
we just didn't know what this was for, so we just wanted to make sure that that wasn't going to interfere with our monolithic wall that we lost when Planet Fitness was built. That's all.
Okay. Okay, so is there, did you want the petitioner to answer a question before that, or is that because?
I didn't hear what the variance was for, or.
It's for the amount of parking spaces.
It's what?
For how many parking spaces?
To waive 48 parking spaces. To waive 48 parking spaces.
To waive it. It has nothing to do with the monolithic wall.
Not at all.
Okay, we're done. Thank you.
I'll close the public portion of the meeting and turn it over to the board for any questions and discussion.
Mr. Chair, I just have a quick question to the petitioner. Good evening, sir. So I take it that you have adequate enough parking as is for your business?
I do,
It's
yep.
not impacting the, the local streets or anything like that? This is just something that kind of got overlooked when they went through the initial site plan process with your building and your little expansion, which I think is, it's modest, it's a modest addition. I could get behind it. As long as it's not gonna impact any of the current parking situation, which I don't think so, because you're just, it's not like you're adding more rooms for business and stuff like that, so. What's the nature of the business, by the way, over there?
We do senior affordable housing, and we're national. We're in 4 states.
Okay.
Michigan, Massachusetts, Maryland, and California, and we're headquartered right here in Warren.
Gotcha, okay. Well, thank you, sir. I think I could get behind this. This is a simple request, in my opinion, but I'll yield the floor. My colleagues have something else to say.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Mr. Lindsay first.
Yeah, I would just echo you, Mr. Jersey. We're already operating out of this business. Nothing's really changing. It looks to be a large enough parking lot, so I'm in favor.
Mr. Chair?
Mr. Watts?
Is there any other businesses in this building?
Now, when we first entered the building, there was other spaces, but since we've occupied the whole place now, so there's no other business.
All right, because I'm looking at a Google Earth view, and I see only 11 vacant parking spots. I don't know how old this is. I don't know if it's a year or 2 years or 3 years. I just want to make, and I know you said you're making your lobby larger, but I just want to make sure by waiving 48 spots, it's not going to change anything for you.
Right, so exactly, there's no changes at all in the lot itself has been exactly the same since 2007. So what we're doing is our lobby is just really small, and by pushing it out a little bit, we're making a more seating space for the people as they wait.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Mr. Watts?
Yep.
So, I think, I mean, I don't know what image you pulled, but it seems to be quite a, at least adequate parking based off the stuff in the backup, so I'll yield.
Any other questions, or if not, are there a motion?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion to grant the petitioners permission to waive a total of 48 parking spaces and relinquish previous parking variances that were granted on 9/13/1967 and 2/12/1969 due to the fact the size and shape of the lot is not a detriment to the area.
Support. So we have a motion by Mr. Jersey, and I heard support by Mr. Clift to approve the request for the reasons stated in motion.
Mr. Jersey votes yes for the reasons stated in the motion. Mr. Clift?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Green?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Watts?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Lindsay?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Assessor?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Safaya?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Perry?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
And Chairman Estovich?
Yes, for reasons stated in motion. Your request is approved.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so it's item number 12.
Item 12, applicant Stephen Savage, Representative Stephen Savage, common description 26837 Ryan. Variance is requested permission to retain 12-foot by 28-foot, 336 square foot pan mural wall signage on the east elevation in addition to the permitted 40 square foot wall sign for a total of 376 square feet of wall signage.
Is the petitioner present? Not seeing the petitioner, do you want to proceed on this item, or do you want to have a motion to postpone it to the next meeting? Maybe the weather or so?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Watts?
I personally don't see a reason to postpone. If somebody can't be here, it's a simple phone call. Plain and simple. The other half of the coin is, you know, I'm looking at what the variance is, which kind of boggles my mind, I guess. But I don't know. It's up to you guys. I just, like I say, I have a problem with people not showing up.
I'd like to proceed.
Can we get a roll call vote to whether to proceed? Somebody make a motion to proceed. I make the motion that we take a roll call vote in order to see if we proceed with this item or not.
So you're making a motion for us to proceed with this item? Or?
For a roll call vote to see if we proceed with the item. For a roll call vote to see if we proceed with the item.
Mr. Chair, to the city attorney. The item is on the agenda,
Correct.
so do we really have to, with all due respect, do we really have to take a vote to decide whether or not we're gonna act on the item when it's already on the agenda?
Maybe Mr. Cliff stated it wrong, but I believe there are some people who would like to move it to the end or move it to another date due to the inclement weather. So I think the motion was just stated incorrectly. Someone needs to make a motion to proceed, or actually someone needs to make a motion to postpone, if that's what you want to do. If that's not what you want to do and there's no motion, then you proceed, you can hear it.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Watts?
can we ask Mr. Watcherpoint, have they had any contact with this gentleman?
Shocking. I have not had recent conversation. I've dealt with him at the counter, and he was aware of a lot of the stuff that was needed. And as a former board member and a city employee, I always like to give someone an extra chance. We'd rather get compliance and everything else. If a variance is voted down, it's done, and they can't come in front of you again. So that's why I would like to give a second chance most of the time.
Fair enough.
Mr. Chair, I withdraw my motion.
What, does someone want to make a motion to postpone the item? Or
I'll make a motion to postpone the item till the January meeting, January 14th meeting.
Is there support for that motion?
Support.
So we have a motion by Mr. Watts, support by Mr. Jersey to postpone this item to the January 14th meeting. Do we want to do a roll call for this one?
Please.
Roll call.
Yes.
Yep. So a yes vote would be to postpone this to the January 14th meeting. Mr. Watts?
Yes.
Mr. Jersey votes yes. Mr. Sophia?
No, the enforcement file goes back to May, that the property owner was informed of the sign not being.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Assessor?
Yes.
Mr. Clift?
No, the enforcement packet goes back an awful long way on this, and I do understand that there was a death-related, a little holdup on this, but that occurred in October. It's been plenty of time to move forward. I vote no.
Mr. Green?
No.
Mr. Lindsay?
No to postpone.
And Chairman Starovich?
Vote yes to postpone. So this item will be heard on January 14th.
January 14th.
Okay, so item number 13.
Give me 1 second here. Okay, item 13, applicant Dennis Bostic, Representative Lisa Baker, common description 32900 DeQuinder, Suite A. Variances requested. Permission to, 1, install a 50.27 square foot wall sign on the west elevation and a 50.27 square foot wall sign on the north elevation for a total of 100.54 square feet of wall signage. 2, install a 61.5 square foot monument sign that is 9 feet high, 11 inches high, contains an electric message center that is 4 feet by 8 feet, 43% of total permitted freestanding sign area to within 2 feet of the sidewalk along DeQuinder Road. 3, install a second 61.5 square foot monument sign that is 9 feet, 11 inches high, contains an electric message center that is 4 feet by 8 feet, 43% of the total permitted freestanding sign area to within 2 feet of the property line along 14 Mile.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Chair and fellow ZBA members. I'm here representing Dennis.
If you could just start with your name and address for the
Sure,
record,
yeah,
and then
Lisa
go into your
Baker,
request.
Sign Fabricators, 43984 North Groesbeck Highway, Clinton Township.
Okay, and now if you could take us into your request.
Yeah, we're here, looking at this, the property owner is putting considerable amount of money into this, updating it to what the current area is, updating to what current standards are. The variance or appeal for the wall signs and monument signs, I think, are founded, and the signs are appropriately sized for the areas surrounding properties. I've included a number of pictures. If you look at the corner that it's at 14 and DeQuinder, there's some very large signage, 3 gas stations, an auto place that is blocking, I guess, a lot of this area. So we're looking at putting signage in there. The signage that we're requesting is considerably less than what's already there. There's an existing monument sign that was granted back in, I believe, 66 and has been the same size, July 6th of 1966. That the variance allowed for that 2-foot setback, with the sign being 10 foot, 9 foot, 6 inches in height, so pretty much the same size that we're requesting. The wall sign currently is 178 square feet. This property has about 170 linear feet of frontage, 13,000 square feet, so it's a considerably large building. I think what we're requesting 2 wall signs at 50 square foot, so it's about half of the wall signage that's currently there, existing on the property. And then we're requesting the 2 monument signs at the 2 entrances. The biggest one, the issue on 14 Mile is Chet's beside it, has a reader board and sign that is probably 3 times the size of what we're requesting. The visibility is very low due to trees, the fencing that's there from the other there, that huge monument sign that is on the property next door. That laneway is very difficult to navigate, I think, without signage there for them to be able to navigate and see that entrance. And likewise on DeQuinder, just due to the large canopies, the signage, that's all on that corner.
Okay, thank you for that presentation. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience to speak? Not seeing anyone. I will end the public portion of the meeting and turn it over to the board for discussion and questions.
Mr. Chair, real quick, I have a question for Steve.
Yes, Mr. Jersey.
So the building's blue. How does that not fall under design element? If the building's, I know we've had design element things with certain things and sign packages that came before us, but, with the building being painted blue, I'm kind of.
That is a static color throughout the building with it, so it's not
So as long as the whole building's painted
Yes,
solid,
it's
one
not
color.
there to draw attention, it's there as a solid
Oh,
color.
it's there to draw attention.
Well,
So,
maybe.
I mean, it's a matter of interpretation, but, okay, thank you for that answer. But getting back to the sign package, I personally, we've got a huge problem in this city with LED lights. We've had this discussion numerous times, me and you, me and other board members, with so many LED light displays being out of the 2 candle wick, whatever variance is on the books. And I haven't seen any enforcement in this town regarding any LED lights, starting right outside here on our front lawn. So, I mean, between that, gas stations, I mean, it's becoming a problem. So I'm inclined to not grant a single LED sign anymore in this town, because we have no enforcement on LED lights. And it's starting to get really bright, it's blinding, and it's obnoxious. So your sign package, I could get behind the regular sign, but I'm not gonna get behind a sign, especially an LED sign that's 2 feet off a sidewalk, that's probably gonna be out of candle wick ordinance the minute it goes up. So how are we gonna have 2 blinding lights now on, DeQuinder and 14 Mile, a blue building, screaming cannabis? So I can't get behind anything but maybe the wall sign on the building. But I would like to put on the record that we just need more enforcement of LED signs in this town. I was hoping that we would get to that point with the time change and, with it becoming darker earlier, but it doesn't seem to be the case. So with that, I'll yield the floor.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Mr. Lindsay?
So, Mr. Jersey, I think you know my comments on the LED signs. I'm not in favor of those either. When I'm looking at this sign package, this is really excessive, in my opinion. I'm looking at the wall signs. I mean, I'm not in favor of another cannabis shop, but that's not what we're here to discuss. So that's not gonna sway my opinion here. I don't know why these 2 signs, I'm fine with both of them for the first item, but I don't know why those can't be smaller in size. So I'm not in favor of those. The monument sign, the one is completely blocking the BP gas station. It's out of control. This is, yeah, and then the other one is by the other wall sign, the monument sign, I guess I should say. It's like we're just scattering signs across the whole property. I'm not in favor of this. I don't see why that we need anything outside of the wall signs here. This is way too far out of the ordinance, in my opinion, so it's a detriment. I'm not voting yes on any of these. I yield the floor.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Lindsay. Mr. Watts?
So, I agree, and I have a real problem with the 14-mile sign. When I look at the size of the sign and where it's going to go, you got that other sign there, you got other signs on 14 Mile. And I'm sitting here looking at where the sign, where they have an existing sign where they're gonna put this larger sign on 14 Mile. And I'm looking at the property there, and it's not even maintained. There's weeds growing everywhere. It's too much signage. It's just way too much signage. I don't understand, in driving, I drove through there the other day. I'm like, who's gonna go in from 14 Mile? Because if you go in from 14 Mile, you gotta go all the way to the back, then you gotta go all the way back out to DeQuinder. Doesn't make any sense to me. That's just way too much signage. And then to add the LED package in there, there's just no way I can get behind this. It's ridiculous. The other question I had, every packet we get, there's always enforcement actions, and I don't see any enforcement actions on this. Were they left out?
For the most part, the enforcement actions you get are zoning enforcement actions. that are in the BSNA system. If there was any property maintenance issues, they are using a different system, and we do not have that all the time. Sometimes we get it. But what you'll see most of the time is zoning, and zoning has not been out there on infractions.
Okay. I understand the zoning part. I don't know that I understand the blight part, so.
If I could address that, these pictures are old, we've pulled them off of Google Maps, so they're, I guess currently there's a huge improvement. There's a whole new facade, you know, the upgrade on that, they're improving the whole area and upgrading it to what current.
I was by there Saturday down 14 Mile and specifically looked at the signage on 14 Mile and looked at how much it was, space it was gonna take up. And there's not that, that's just too much. It's ridiculous, so I'll be a no vote.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Sofio?
I reviewed this sign package. I don't have a problem with the two signs on the building. I think it's overkill, the monument signs on DeQuinder and 14. I do understand the need for maybe the one on 14 Mile, just because that is their access point. Their customers should be able to come in that way. But I think the sign that's proposed is just too large for that 14 Mile entrance.
Okay.
The same with the DeQuinder one.
Thank you, Mr.
Mr.
Sofio.
Chair.
Yes, Mr. Jersey?
You know, real quick, I think the color of the building is probably gonna be their best sign. I mean, you go by that corner, you can't help but not turn your head to see that building, I mean, without a sign. So I really think the facade and the paint job on the building is probably gonna draw more people than any kind of sign package, my personal opinion, so I'll yield the floor with that. But I could get behind the wall signs, I can't get behind 2 and 3.
Any other comments or any questions? Motions?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Mr. Sofio?
I guess I would like to ask the petitioner, if I may.
Yes, please.
You've heard our comments tonight. It sounds like you may have enough support for item 1. The other two items, items 2 and 3, you've heard the comments so far. Do you, I'm willing to make a motion for item 1.
I respect that and understand that and appreciate that. The thing with the two monument signs is they're existing. So what they're wanting to do is upgrade those. Size is actually less in both instances. So the front one, I think currently it's 75 square feet, 72 square feet. They're reducing that to 61 square feet. So they're actually reducing the size of it. There's an existing footing, existing sign that has been there since 66 by the looks of it, so the signage is actually less than what's current. We're reducing the size of it. Yes, there's the implementation of the LED board. I certainly would be open to that. Likewise on the 14 Mile. I think it's important to mark that entranceway due to, I believe there's a DOT thing that you're not gonna be able to turn left into that DeQuinder entrance. And that's the reason why they're wanting to mark that 14 Mile, because that's gonna be the way the traffic is occurring. They're going to have to be using that 14 Mile entrance. And if you look at what's surrounding there, it's very difficult to distinguish that driveway due to the very large LED board, Chet's sign, the fences and everything that's there. So how does the client or how does someone going into that building distinguish where that driveway is? And that's the reason why they're wanting to put something there. It's existing. The size is actually being reduced. They're wanting to use the same footings. It's just a marker to get and direct traffic into the proper laneway there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Steve, did you have something you wanted to add in?
In our research, we did not find any permit for that 14 Mile sign. We've looked and looked and we haven't found it. So at this point, it would be considered a new sign and would have to go through all the protocols as a new sign and go from there. So as of now, that 14 Mile Road sign, as far as the city goes, doesn't exist.
Great.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Clift.
I kind of echo a lot of the sentiments of my colleagues up here, but I think if you found yourself bringing yourself into the permitted spacing on those monument signs, I hear you talking about their existing and what you're going to put there is actually going to be smaller. But I'll remind you that most of my colleagues up here that have problem with the monument signs were talking about that excessively bright LED component that you're wanting to add into those. At 43%, you're gonna have to get an okay from this board in order to move forward with that, and it doesn't appear that you're gonna have the support for that. If you stay at the 25% or below, you don't even have to appear before us to put that in. So, there's a couple of different ways to address it. We can vote on it the way it sits, and then you get a no, and that's it, it's done.
Okay. I just want to confirm, because you've got the ordinance, so section 4A.35, it states that a freestanding sign on the premises, you're allowed up to 150 square foot. But I think on one of the other ones it was stated completely different. So what is it 150 square feet that they're allowed, or what is the ordinance? Because it's stated just in today's thing, two different ways, so I wanted to verify that.
Steve, can you actually just clarify that for everyone?
Actually, I'm gonna ask Brian, is this all M2 or is there M3 on the property too? It's M2. So the M2 allows for 75 square feet of freestanding sign. One freestanding sign up to 72 square feet with the setback equal to the height. If it's a monument sign, it can't be greater than 5 feet.
Okay, and then
I think I've covered most of it.
Yeah, so this variance, back in 66 where they granted it to be 2 foot off of the sidewalk, will that not hold?
No, that, you can have a 2
Okay.
foot,
And it's a 10 foot by?
10 by 3.5
Basically a 10
feet.
foot by 10
So
foot height.
it's 35. The sign
That's
was,
the width, so the length in which it is existing, so the footing's there, so it's 10 foot.
10 foot by
By 10
3.5. So
by
it's a
9 foot and
35
6
foot
height.
square foot sign that was approved back then. From reading the previous variance.
For DeQuinder.
On DeQuinder, correct. So with the setback and at the 35 square feet, you would only be allowed 25% of that 35 because of that setback, that size would stand, and the 150 or 75 does not even come into play. It would have to meet all the ordinances if you wanted to do that and go from there.
So, okay, so just to make sure, so repeat that, just so I
But
make sure I
basically, to me,
understand,
it sounds
kinda
like the
clarify,
biggest
yeah.
concern is the LED portion. So it's
Yes,
like if
Mr.
it was
Chairman,
less
that
than
was the point I
25.
was trying to make, is that, from what I'm hearing, everybody's got, and I as well have issues with those ultra-bright LED message flashing signs. The board in good faith over the years has kind of went along with some of that stuff, but we're finding it to be more detrimental than anything around town. And I was just letting the petitioner know that, you know, there are some options here without even having to appear before us, because the setback is already in place. That 2 foot setback's already in place. That's already there. They wouldn't even have to come before us to talk about that. What we're talking about is not even the sheer overall size of that monument signage. It's that 43% message board that's kind of, I think, stuck in a lot of guys' craw up here.
So if they're allowed 150 square feet, 25% of that is.
They're not allowed 150 square feet.
That's
What they,
it states here, right on your paperwork for today's agenda.
in M3 and M4. It's actually an M2 zone. So,
Okay.
That doesn't even apply.
so
Okay,
the,
that's what I was trying to
Right.
clarify. So you're stating that, so the sign would have to be 75 square foot with 25% of that.
no, what was allowed with that variance was only a 35 square foot sign.
Correct.
Unless you want to move it back and meet the height requirements
It's
and
10
setbacks.
It's 10 by 10.
No,
So
it
it's
isn't.
10
It's
foot.
10, it was
That's
10
the
foot
width.
wide, no,
Yeah.
it was 10 foot wide by
Yeah, 10 foot.
10 foot high by that. That's the height. I don't know how this works out. I would have to look at the actual meeting minutes to go forward from there. But it says the sign is only to be 10 foot by 3 feet, 6 inches. And the write-up on the card.
Yeah, it says 9.
I would have to look at the meeting
Yeah.
and go from there. So if
9
you want to
foot.
postpone that, I can do the digging and have those details at the next meeting.
Yeah, it says 9 foot 6 inches in height.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
That height,
by 10 foot wide.
And if I could just,
I'll yield the floor.
I was just gonna say, because I agree with what I've heard my colleagues say, because I have no problem getting behind and supporting item number 1. I don't like having 43% of the sign in 2 and 3 being LED. If it'll be at the 25%, which is what our zoning ordinance allows, then we don't even have to hear that portion. And so I have a hard time supporting 43%. That's the issue I have.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Mr. Cliff.
And to the petitioner, I would be willing to make that motion to postpone. If you want to take all the information you've gathered and go back and rework a few things, if you have to come back for a few things that seem like they may be more in the wheelhouse of reasonability for the board, I encourage you to do that. I would sooner give you an opportunity to review, reflect, and come back as opposed to just see you move forward with a vote and end up getting no
Nope.
voted.
I appreciate that. So you're basically stating that we can go forward with the wall signs, but let's look back at what the size and what the variance
Now,
was.
a postponement would be a postponement on all of it,
Okay,
on all of it. Or you can withdraw what you're asking for on the other items and move forward with that wall sign. I don't know what your timeline might be. We'd be willing to look at it in a month, maybe 2, if need be.
okay. Are we able to get back on the agenda, the January agenda?
Nicole, could we do a postponement for January 14th?
January 14th? So, yeah, we
Sounds
could-
like that's doable, January 14th, sounds very doable.
That way I can go back to the client, just because I'd like to go back to them.
Absolutely.
And work with them. I'd like to understand what's, I guess, if we're only allowed that 75 square foot, or if this other variance would allow for a larger sign with only that 25% of it being the reader board, the LED.
I think that's your biggest, I think that's the biggest hangup for us.
And likewise too, like, I'd hate to say, let's vote on it.
Okay.
When I don't have that information, especially when it's a client of ours, I'm not the one deciding.
Would-
I'd like
So
to
do
go
we
back
have
to
a
the
motion?
client.
Would anybody
Mr.
else
Chair,
have
I
any
got a question.
comments?
Oh, wait, there's a question
Okay,
first.
okay.
Mr. Watts?
I got a question to Mr. Watts' point. Now that it came up that there's not a permit for the sign on 14 Mile, where does that put us with this, their variance they're requesting?
the variance, you can request a variance for anything, so the variance would still be a legitimate request.
Okay.
We just will start enforcement, but we didn't because it was coming in front of you, and we did the research later on after this was, as this was processed, we started looking and trying to get other things done. We went back to it, and it was determined there was nothing there.
Okay, fair enough, yep.
So we
Thank
would
you.
start enforcement on it, but basically, the ordinances are there. Anyone can ask for a variance at any time. The only time we deny it, based on the zoning ordinances, is when they owe the city money. That's the only time we put a stop to it. If they request it, it comes to you guys. So we have no control of stopping it, no matter what the property looks like or anything at this point in time, because we're not allowed to. And the
Okay.
Zoning Enabling Act has a set state too, and I don't see it in there.
Okay.
The other thing I would like to mention is, I forgot now. what were we talking? The 75 would have to be set back. We're gonna pull out the original permit that matched it, show where it was, and Brian says it was an odd shaped sign, so there was some uniqueness to that. So we will have that also in the packet. If she goes back and they decide to do something different that's less, it can still be heard in January. If they wanted something that was different and would need reposting, odds are it won't be able to come back in January. That's what I really wanted to say, is that depending if they change anything, it may not be able to be heard that time. I want to let you know too.
No, so if we change, okay, so.
If it's less than what's requested now, we can move forward.
Okay.
So,
Basically, if we fit within the variances of what ordinances are currently, we wouldn't have to come back, or we would still have to come back and?
to get the EMC greater than 8 feet, you will have to come back. Or 8 1/4, I don't know, some odd number.
I think 25% is about 19 square foot.
I think 25% of 35 feet is 8.666, if someone wants to check the math on that.
Close enough.
Okay, so what was the 75 square foot then?
That's what's allowed with a setback equal to the height and a ground sign. So it would have to be equal setback that way. What was approved, and that's why we gotta get that part too.
So it sounds that basically, if we postpone this, then you could work with Steve, get all those details ironed out,
Yes.
and we'll see you back in January.
I would say probably a date to be determined, because
Then
if it
it'll
needs to
have
be
to be
reposted, we can't do it till.
No, it won't have to be reposted right now, as long as it falls within this or less.
Okay.
So, and I know the property owner did come in asking about it and everything, so I know he's in a little, or not the property owner, the tenant was pushing, so I know he wants to move forward on that. So.
I have a quick question since you're up there. What would the sign be without the LED? Without the LED display, just a circle ground loud cannabis sign, without the LED, how big would that be?
I'm not sure, did you do that, Kel? It might be in there.
Would that fall within,
I might have that in my file actually when I did the background. Hold on, see if I have the ordinances in here.
What?
It was 65, so without the reader board, it was 75 square foot ground signed, and then that 5-foot height, is what would be allowed without that reader board on there from your ordinances.
so without the LED, it would be 75 square feet?
Correct, yes.
You're asking what the actual sign size
Yeah, just like,
is?
eliminate the LED and just put a round loud cannabis sign on the lawn. That's all I'm suggesting.
I don't know what that size is. I'm looking at this.
Guess
The
it'd be
round sign, it's 72 square feet, so it'd be the area of a circle at
Yeah,
36.
Yeah, the circle's
inches.
60 square foot as a circle. I don't know how you guys calculate, but he's asking though what would be allowed without having a reader board.
He's not
with
asking
it.
what would be allowed. He's asking what size would that round.
Just the circle, no
circle
LED.
Yeah. Oh, just the circle.
Just the circle,
It's
no
60
LED.
It's 60 square foot.
It'd be the circle.
Yeah, I don't know how, if that's the circle, I don't know if you guys calculate yours at the City of Warren. Some calculate it as exact dimensions, some calculate it as a square.
I mean, I
So
might be able to
it
get
would
behind that.
be-
I just don't think I can't get behind any kind of LED reader board. 25%, 40%, 80%, I don't care percent. There's just no percent. So I'll yield the
Mr.
floor.
Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Sofia?
as I've indicated earlier, from the comments tonight, I think it would help the petitioner if we voted on item 1 and if we postponed the other 2 items. I would make a motion for that.
We could
If
do
that's
that, make a
acceptable.
motion to separate the items and then.
I
vote
make a motion
separately
to
on the-
separate item 1 from item 2 and 3.
I'll support that.
So we have a motion by Mr. Safaya, support by Mr. Jersey, to separate item 1, which is the wall sign, from items 2 and 3, so that we could vote on them separately. All in
Roll-
favor? Or do we do a roll
Aye.
call
Roll call vote, or
for separating it?
Madam Attorney?
Let's do a roll call,
Roll
just to be on
call.
the safe side.
Or Mr. Safaya?
Yes.
Mr. Jersey votes yes. Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Sesser?
Yes.
Mr. Clift?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Watts?
No.
Mr. Lindsay?
Yes.
And Chairman Stovich.
Yes. Okay, so that separates the two items, so if you want to make a motion on item 1?
I'll make a motion. I'd like to make a motion to grant permission to install a 50.27 square foot wall sign on the west elevation and a 50.27 square foot wall sign on the north elevation for a total of 100.54 square feet of wall signage. Due to the size and shape of the lot, it's not a detriment to the area and it's necessary.
Support.
So you have a motion by Mr. Safaya, support by Mr. Perry, to approve item 1 for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Safaya?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Perry?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Sesser?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Clift?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Green?
Yes, for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Watts?
No, I think it's too much signage.
Mr. Lindsay?
No, it's a detriment and it's not necessary.
Mr. Jersey votes yes for reasons stated in motion. Chairman Stovich.
I vote yes for the reasons stated in motion. So your item number 1 on the wall signs has been approved by us.
Okay, thank
So
you, I
then,
appreciate that.
a motion to postpone.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to postpone item 2 and 3. I'll just leave it
January
open.
14th.
January
Oh,
14th.
For January 14th
To January
meeting.
14th,
2026.
2026.
Support.
So we have a motion by Mr. Safaya, support by Mr. Assessor, to postpone items 2 and 3 to January 14th meeting, 2026. Roll call vote?
Mr. Safaya?
Yes.
Mr. Sesser?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Clift?
Yes to postpone.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Watts?
Yes.
Mr. Lindsay?
No to postpone.
Mr. Jersey votes yes to postpone. Chairman Stovich.
Yes. So items 2 and 3, you have until January 14th to figure that out.
Thank you, and I'll get with Steve and Brian, and we can get that background figured out and have that all pulled together, and then get with the client, so thank you, I appreciate that.
Excellent. Thank you. So it takes us to 13A.
Takes us to item 13A, applicant Hector Leon, Representative Hector Leon, common description 14668 Alger. Variance is requested permission to, 1, retain 54 inches of driveway widened beyond the east garage building line and 48 inches beyond the west garage building line for an overall driveway width of 28 feet. 2, retain 30 feet, 6 inches by 18 feet plus 10 feet by 10 feet, 649 square foot gazebo attached to the house in addition to a 10-foot by 10-foot, 100 square foot shed and 410 square feet attached garage for a total of 1,159 square feet of accessory floor structure area, and 3, waive the required rat wall for the gazebo.
And I don't see any petitioner in the audience for this item.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Safaya.
I kind of have a simple rule with these: no call, no show, no variance. But that's just me.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Mr. Perry? Or after Mr. Watts?
I would agree. My problem is, when I read this, the application, he said he didn't realize there was permit request needed to put a shed up, to put a fence up, to widen his driveway, and basically put a roof over his whole backyard. And I drove by there 2 or 3 times. It is hideous. I don't buy the story that he didn't know that, and then he didn't show up tonight. It just sticks in my craw. I'll wait to see if anybody else got any comments, but I would make a motion to deny.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr.
I
Jersey.
kind of echo the same sentiments of my other two colleagues. The only problem is we've kind of set a dangerous precedent, postponing the other one tonight to allow them to reappear. So, to me, if we're playing by the same rules, I mean, if we're gonna stick to one thing to deny people for not showing up, we should just do it across the board consistently. But since we've already kind of had one tonight that was a no-show, and we postponed it for a later meeting, I feel like if we didn't do this, it opens us up for maybe some litigation if we didn't postpone this one. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I mean, I'm just.
Personally, I think they're different, but
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Green?
I personally, since the first day I've sat in here, have wondered why we postpone items when people don't show up. And I think maybe it's time to turn that corner and start moving on items, or they start to back up and it becomes an issue. And this item is a perfect example of, and this is on a different thought. So we're gonna take this item and vote no on it, let's say. So you drive over there, like we did, and you see this, whatever it is, you get this whole backyard covered by a gazebo, a driveway being widened that we've, I think, established that we're not gonna happen anymore. But what happens is, when we deny this, we don't see anything anymore. We'll never hear about it again. And then you'll drive by it in 6 months. This is getting frustrating. You'll drive by it in 6 months, and you'll see it. And what's happened is, and this is just my personal opinion, we sit up here, and every meeting we have, someone makes a comment, that's not what we're here for. Well, I got bad news for everybody. We sit here every single meeting and listen to how things get up here that shouldn't be up here. They're not ready to be up here. We hear about the problems with enforcement, how it's obviously not a focus of the administration, and we know there's not enough people to do the enforcement because of hiring and stuff like that. And we say the same thing every single week. And things get up here, and sometimes we say, that's not what we're supposed to be doing. What we're supposed to be doing is protecting the citizens of the city of Warren and trying to make the city of Warren a better place. So if somebody comes up here and their backyard is a pigsty, somebody's living next door to that guy. And they're counting on somebody in this whole process to say, no, it's not gonna happen under my watch. So we need to really start to think about that and maybe give it more thought than we're giving it, because we're the end of the rope for some people. So if you live next door to that and the ZBA says, sure, go ahead, you've just lost confidence in the city of Warren. We're here for the people of Warren and for the city of Warren. That's it. So that's my comment.
motion to deny.
Support. Reasons?
Reason is it's a detriment to the area. It's too much build in the backyard, too much space.
Support.
So we have a motion to deny by Mr. Watts and support by Mr. Lindsay.
Mr. Watts.
Yes to deny.
Mr. Lindsay.
Yes to deny for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Green.
Yes to deny.
Mr. Cliff.
Yes to deny.
Mr. Assessor.
Yes to deny for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Perry.
Yes to deny for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Chair, or Mr. Sophia, sorry.
Yes to deny for the reasons stated in the motion.
Mr. Jersey votes yes to deny for the reasons stated in the motion. Chairman Ostovich.
I will also vote yes to deny for the reasons stated in the motion. Takes us to item number 14, which is new business, and I just wanted to, under new business, I wanted to wish the entire board and staff of the zoning and building department a very happy holiday, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas and happy holidays to everybody.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Clift?
I was just curious in that one packet that we had with all them stellar photographs of the blight, what department did them come from? Do we know, is that the, that's property maintenance. So, I'm just curious if, maybe through the chair, we can't have a letter sent over to property maintenance to maybe include those in every packet that we look at. Because I think the more information we have, the better. There was a reason it was stuck in with that one, and I think that same exact reason that it was stuck in with that one is the reason that they should be stuck in with each one that we hear.
Is that a
So
motion?
was that
Is that a
added
motion?
because we had those, or that they didn't
It can be.
take outs?
You gotta quit dragging your feet on the carpet down there.
It was a recent enforcement, and the departments are talking a lot more. I don't know if it would make sense to probably have to get administration to sign off on them going out and taking pictures of every property that comes before you.
Nope,
If that's what
that's
the
not,
Okay.
not what I said. If it was something that's active
If
and
they have
ongoing,
something active and ongoing.
at that point, that I think that that should be a box to be checked on somebody's list of what goes in these packets. Current enforcements from here, current enforcements from there.
I will run it up the food chain and go from there, because it will take a sign off from both administrators. For us, it would be a simple letter going to the property maintenance department, asking if they have anything on that, and then waiting for their reply. If they don't reply, we wouldn't have it even if there was current enforcement. So I couldn't go from there, but we gotta get the sign-offs and go from there. So it probably won't happen. If it happens, it probably won't happen until probably March. Because January would be out, maybe February. Maybe we can discuss that at the group meeting. And maybe I'll see if I can get the property maintenance chief code enforcement officer at that meeting as well.
Because along with that, it just boggles my mind that here in Warren, that we allow things to come up before us when there's a litany of issues ongoing under enforcement. That just, I have a hard time believing that that's been overlooked in this process. Maybe at one point in time it wasn't an issue. I'm hoping that that's the case. But apparently some times have changed and things are a little different now.
I'll ask the city attorney to look into that, but I know the only thing zoning can deny for
No, I
is
understand.
that.
I understand that.
So-
I'm going back, my message is to the administration.
Well, we
if you
may have
wanna-
to change the zoning ordinance.
Exactly.
And make sure that it doesn't conflict with the zoning enabling, and I would ask the city attorney to look into that
I
portion.
think it's worth
And
looking
she's
at.
nodding and agreeing, so.
I think that's all worth looking at. I mean, this is a different board from when I first started sitting here. And I think we're moving in the right direction with a lot of things. Now, we're hamstrung by ordinances that are out of date and they're old and they don't fit anymore. And the amount of time that this board spends reviewing and discussing items that come before us could probably be significantly reduced if the administration took as much time and effort and put into revising some of the ordinances. That's the only point I wanted to make. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas too. Thank you.
And Mr. Chair, it'll also be nice, Steve, while you're up there, if you run it up the food chain, as you call it, that you could get back with us and tell us where it stops on the food chain, so that when we talk to people.
I may not know that,
So that,
but-
so that you'll know it, so you'll know it. So when you talk to people, we can let them know what part of the food chain this stopped at. Because if it's not a focus of the administration, that's all fine and dandy, they're the administration, but it would be nice to know that.
If I know that and can report that, I will.
You'll know.
And if I can just add one more item, I wanted to remind everybody that in January, in our schedule for next month, for next year, the start time of these meetings is 7 as opposed to 7:30. Want to make sure everybody was aware. Just a reminder. Any other new business? Takes us to item number 15, which is adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
We have motion by Mr. Cliff, support by Mr. Perry. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, meeting adjourned at 9:19.